number you have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, there's no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision. Trendsetter, told them before, but they don't listen. Better, bring a better bad because I'm bigger, better. Solo, single, selling several shows at every single second. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Kinda came and crushed the competition, hope they get the message. Look.
Drop the acid.
$3 trillion coming into Ripple. That is a lot of money. We need to talk about it today. This is astronomical news, and I have a different perspective, and we need to tie it all together. This is going to affect you and your portfolio. Let's get into it. Incoming $3 trillion into the Ripple XRP ecosystem. How much of it is actually going to affect XRP? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. There is a deal that was just made, and an announcement that was just made by Ripple. I am Justin with Wealth Building Strategies. We're going to talk about it. Like, share, and subscribe if you like this content. If you are an XRP holder and you like this type of content, you like the information that we provide on this channel, if it's valuable to you in any sort of way, just like your favorite TV show you like or share with your friends, the same thing goes here. If you do that, it supports us greatly. It supports the channel. It helps it grow. We really appreciate it. If you just take a little bit of time to comment, it means a lot. So, on to the story. Ripple acquires $3 trillion worth of liquidity flowing into it by acquiring a company, Hidden Road, for $1.25 billion. It's a global credit network. It provides institutional clients with seamless access to both traditional and digital financial markets. This is absolutely huge for Ripple and the ecosystem. It allows swaps, it allows derivatives, it allows FX markets. This is absolutely huge. You start tying this into Medico, standard custody, the trust, right? They bought that. Then you tie this into the Hidden Road agenda. It's absolutely wild. What is happening right now is absolutely monumental. It's happening, guys. It's literally, the shift is happening. It's taking place. You have $3 trillion that's going to be going over the payment networks that on Ripple. You get this. This is wild. You add this up to ISO 20022 migration, which is fully implemented in November of 2025. This is absolutely huge for the ecosystem. Absolutely giant steps. I don't want to zoom in close. That's too crazy. But yeah, giant steps. I got a new toy for the channel. I bought a new camera for the channel. I am investing some money into this channel. If you like this content, all I ask is like, share, and subscribe. I am putting out this content because I want you guys to be ahead of the game. I want you guys to realize that in the month of April, we're looking at possibly having some further corrections, some lower lows. We've been talking about it on this channel. I've also been diving deep. I believe we're going to have some ups in May. I believe that now is the time to go ahead and buy these dips and then go ahead and sell some of your bag if that is what you're planning on doing in May. Whether that's XLM, whether that's some of these other tokens that I believe we may end up seeing a run on. So there are a lot of indicators that are pointing to this. I want you guys to be prepared for what's going on. This news that's coming out with Ripple is absolutely huge. $3 trillion going across. I'm going to read some highlights of what's going on here. Let's get into it. Hidden Road is a global credit network that provides institutional clients with seamless access to both traditional and digital financial markets. The firm offers services such as prime brokerage, clearing, and financing across various asset classes, including foreign exchange, FX, right? Digital assets, derivatives, swaps, and fixed income. As a prime broker, are you hearing that? Broker. As a prime broker, Hidden Road facilitates essential services like clearing, security lending, and leverage trade execution for large hedge funds and institutional investors. The company processes approximately $3 trillion annually across financial markets, over 300 institutional clients. Recently, Ripple, a leader providing of digital asset infrastructure, announced its acquisition of Hidden Road for $1.25 billion. This strategic move positions Ripple as the first cryptocurrency company to own and operate a global multi-asset prime brokerage. This acquisition aims to bridge traditional finance, decentralized finance, and enhancing services for institutional clients. So, the amount of sectors that Ripple is expanding to is astronomical. It's not just in one payment sector with the bank. They're going across all financial markets and sectors, not just in the Nostra Vostra payment sectors of the 27 trillion that we've talked about on this channel of unlocking. This is its own thing outside of it, right? I mean, it's just adding and compounding. So basically, they're able to tokenize anything. They're able to custody anything. If you start tying this into Medico and the standard charter, I think it started standard charter custody, standard custody and trust company, excuse me. So I'm going to continue here. Ripple acquires Hidden Road for $1.25 billion. And I wanted to tie in Ripple's purchases of companies in the last 10 years. Examples of Medico, Standard Trust, and now Hidden Road. Ripple has executed a series of strategic positions with strategic companies, including governments, okay? They have worked with governments in beta tests, right? The Bank of International Settlement, Ripple helped create Enbridge, right? And so that ties into the BRICS nations. That ties into a currency over there that is, they can transfer across the blockchain. It's backed, I believe, 40% by gold, and then the rest of it is backed by commodities, and a certain percentage of it is backed by, so some of it's backed by real world assets, right? Gold and other commodities. The other part is backed by the basket of the BRICS nations' currencies. I think that's important to note. So, with this all being said, you start blending that in and you realize what's going on right now, and with the shift that's happening right now in the United States of America with the tariffs and other things. Realizing, if you watched one of my previous videos, I did a short little stint about the tariffs and going back from the late 1800s to the early 1913. That's when tariffs were on import and export. We didn't have income tax. We didn't have real estate tax. It is important to note that. We are going to a shift back to then, but realize there is some pain that's happening right now, and you're seeing some of it. But some of the fruit, I believe, from going back to this old import-export and not having income tax would be the ideal system. This is how a lot of other nations in the world, some of them, St. Kitts and other places that actually run strictly on exports only. They don't have income tax. They don't have real estate tax. They're not taxing the roads. They're not taxing your fuel. They're not taxing you to hunt. They're not taxing you to, their main thing is import-export is what I'm saying. They may have a few things like you have to pay to fish or something if you're fishing X amount of commercial, but, right? Their main is import-export. And so we're getting back to some of those old standards. And I think it's important to realize that. I think it's important to understand that some of these commodities are going to be backing the new system. And that is what I am currently seeing in the space as of now. These are the things that are being discussed. These are the things that have been talked about. at meetings, right? At high-level meetings. So we need to pay attention to what's actually happening. Let's not worry about all the FUD that's going on in the background on X.com about this, that, and the other. Yes, we're having a correction in the markets. People are scared. Countries are now coming to the bargaining table, right? Because of the tariffs. That's what it was meant to do. Trump is a businessman. He's approaching it from a business standpoint, trying to bring people to the table to negotiate the deal. That's what he's doing. He's also at the same time creating pain on the economy on purpose in order to bring about a result where the Federal Reserve has to answer and lower interest rates. It's important to note that. Once interest rates are lowered, Trump is now in a position to renegotiate the debt. If too much pain is brought, you end up going from a recession into a depression. I don't believe that is what Trump wants. I don't believe that is on the docket, and I don't believe that the Federal Reserve would even allow that to happen. I believe that they are going to step in. I believe that they will lower interest rates, and you will see crypto continue to rise. But we are going to have, like I said, sideways action volatility throughout the year. I am saying in this video, I believe in May we are going to have an up. And I believe you can almost bank on that. Now, this is not financial advice, so do your own diligence and research. I want to get back into the article. I'm getting a little bit off topic. There's a lot going on in the space. Literally, there's so much news coming out about Ripple, about blockchain, what's going on in tariffs, what's going on in the government. It is absolutely wild watching this all unfold. And I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Like, if you see all of these dips coming down and then you see crypto shooting back up, you realize that the dips are being bought up, right? It means there's support in the market, and that's important, and that's good. It's a really, really good sign. It's a really bullish sign. So, Ripple acquires Medico in 2023. It's a Swiss-based company for $250 million. What's important is that they already have institutional grade asset custody in place. This is like institutional grade custody is like they have the regulation from the government to be a bank, right? That's what we're talking about. Institutional grade custody. We're talking about banking, guys. That's what we're talking about. That's what Ripple is acquiring. They're acquiring things for swaps, derivatives, the FX market. If you don't know this terminology, type it into Bing or another search engine or ChatGPT, because I can't get into that kind of depth in this channel. We could spend a long time in nomenclature of terms. So I want to try to stick on point on the main points of what we're trying to hit here. You're talking about a lot of asset custody that Ripple's involved. It allows Ripple to offer secure storage and tokenization solutions for banks and financial institutions, positioning itself to be more than just a payments network. So now you're talking about custody solutions for banks, for JP Morgan, for banks, right? These are their custody, their partners. Everybody has asked me, why is XRP so important? Why are you an XRP maxi, basically? Because I do believe that it is the one. I believe it is the chosen one to run the whole entire new financial system. And yes, there's going to be other tokens that are chained to it, right? There's going to be other tokens that running on the same network, right? And the ledger's all connected and unified. And they'll all have their own jobs, correct? Right? They all do different things. But XRP's specific responsibility is payments on the network. Plus you have all these other things now, derivatives, swaps, FX, right? It's expanding. This market is expanding. And I think it's important to realize that for those of us that were studying the patents, the actual patents back in the day, from Bank of America and from these other banks and custody providers, we were the ones who were tying all the ends together 7 years ago. And some of you who have been watching probably maybe have been here even longer, 10 years, 12 years, maybe even since the beginning. That would be great. If you have been here for that long, please comment down in the comments below. In fact, I would love to know, for every person that's watching this video, how long have you been into XRP? How many years or how many months? Comment down below. We would love to hear. And the other thing is, if you're not in XRP, would you like to be? And are you planning on being? I would love to know down below as well. So, tokenized solutions for banks. It's positioning itself to be more than the payments network. It's giving Ripple a regulated presence in Europe, right? The whole entire region of Europe, expanding its services deeper into its digital asset lifecycle. Its standard custody and trust company was 2024, the next year. It's a New York regulated custodian that's chartered as a trust company. It provides Ripple with direct access to regulated custody services. This helps Ripple boost its compliance profile, enabling it to work more directly with U.S. financial institutions and paving the way for tokenized assets offered under strict regulatory oversight. And then you have Hidden Road 2025, announced yesterday, April 7th. I believe. 1.25 billion acquisition, Hidden Road, prime broker expansion. It's Ripple's largest to date acquisition. It's a global multi-asset broker serving institutional clients across FX, crypto, derivatives, swaps, and more. It's making Ripple the first crypto native company to own a multi-asset prime brokerage, giving it massive reach into institutional finance and closing the loop between digital assets and traditional markets. Ripple is no longer an XRP company. These acquisitions are now forming what we are calling a vertical integrated stack. You have custody through Medico and standard custody. You have tokenized and trust services through standard custody. You have institutional trading and credit access like a bank through Hidden Road. And you have payment infrastructure flowing back and forth seamlessly between the networks with RippleNet and on-demand liquidity. By connecting these dots, Ripple is building a legit rails for the new global financial system that's blockchain native but institutionally compliant. Therefore, cross-bridging decentralized finance, current financial payment infrastructures all into one. I wanted to go further and connect the dots, but we are literally 17 minutes in and I'm running out of time. So I'm going to follow this up with another video, and if you stayed till the end, I really, really appreciate it. The next video, I'm going to highlight partnerships that Ripple is involved in and tie things in further of where this is actually really going. Because this is fascinating. This for me is a 7-year journey, and we are seeing the fruition, the fruit, because of the discipline and the faith of the community sticking and hanging in there amidst a lawsuit of 4 years, slamming down the price, ruining investors, ruining faith and confidence. We are still here at the very end. And we will be redeemed because of our faith and because of our discipline. Thank you for watching the show. This is Justin with Wealth Building Strategies. I love you guys. Hang in there. This is volatile times. Keep watching for more dips. I believe we could have some giant corrections in the next 2 to 3 weeks. That doesn't mean we couldn't have some ups as well. I said it's going to be volatile. This thing is hard to read, but it does appear that there's giant light on the other side, and I believe that we're going to have some huge ups. I mean that. So start stacking your pennies next to their dollars. This isn't financial advice This is just what I'm doing. So, with that being said, have a great day. I'm out.